Okay, we have a green box, we have a live counter ticking up, so we should now be live. Which of course means welcome back to the Storytime Network, where we are here to discuss the Cradle book series by Wight, and we are discussing specifically the tournament arc, aka books 7 and 8, Uncrowned and Wintersteel.
Hell yeah.
Oh good, the notification is there. And yes, good. Okay, always good to now check on Twitch, considering it and OBS have been such pains lately. So yeah, Uncrowned and Wintersteel.
Have we reached a point where the protagonist not winning the tournament in the tournament arc has become, like, a normal thing?
What do you mean?
I mean, it's been a normal thing since Dragon Ball.
Well, yeah, but, like, in the post-Dragon Ball era, there was a long stretch of time where, even if they had to pull it out their butt, with the exception of Pokemon, everyone would just, like, win their tournaments.
The exception of what now? I didn't catch that.
The exception of Pokemon.
Naruto didn't win his tournament.
To be fair, that tournament didn't
To be fair,
end.
nobody won Naruto's tournament because that got interrupted.
That was just a tournament that never ended.
Some say it's still going on to
I
this
think
day.
technically Shikamaru won because he's the only one who got promoted, but still. Even though he got eliminated in the first round.
I will say, it isn't as uncommon, because, like, oh my god, I mean, sports anime always have a tournament. It's very common for, like, at least the initial tournaments, for the main characters to not win.
Yeah, that's why I said it's becoming...
One Battle Shonen series, besides sports stuff, there's also, like, a lot of protagonists do not win their tournaments.
Yeah, which is why I'm wondering when we're gonna get a resurgence in the opposite direction.
Well, it technically ain't this one. Or ain't here.
Oh, that was very loud.
Sorry, what was loud?
Whoever's
I
chair
don't
just
know,
moved.
but it was...
Yeah.
Oh, probably my chair.
Is that it? Yeah.
Yep. I'm sorry, I had to switch over to my other computer because, like, the audio cut out every, like, 10 seconds for me, so I lost, like, 2 or 3 seconds of audio every 10 seconds. Which is, you know, not ideal. Yeah, the Cradle tournament arc is really good. Doesn't hurt that
So
the first half of the tournament that we see is, you know, a more non-conventional tournament.
It feels very much like the Naruto tournament. The Chunin exams is not an unwise comparison in that way. Right? Like, as much as we all love to shit on Naruto, the Naruto Chunin exams is actually really clever.
Yes. Because it's
Naruto's good.
I mean, I would argue it's the first good arc of Nart, so...
I think the Mist Village arc, or rather the initial actual series, yeah, the Land
of
actual
Waves. Yeah.
is pretty good, but
that's
the
for the
change
roast.
where Naruto really comes into its own.
I mean, the Haku fight is kind of the moment where we all go, oh yeah, that's right, this is good.
Well, with the exception of the fact that, like, I really wish a certain individual had just died then and there.
Mm-hmm.
We all can't
We're
get
not here
what
to
we
talk
want.
about. We're not here to talk about Sasuke and everything that sucks about him. We're here
Yeah.
to talk about Cradle.
Speaking of not talking about Sasuke, Pride's an interesting character to add to this game, to this whole situation.
Oh, you're
He's more
right.
of a Vegeta than a Sasuke, to be fair.
He's like almost explicitly a Vegeta. He's like from the same clan as Goku. Oh, we should probably talk about that.
Oh yeah, Goku's great.
I love Fury. Fury is great.
I will say, like, the audiobook for
Yeah.
Fury just doesn't do him justice in that way.
Travis Baldry is great, but he can only do so much.
I know. It's just like, it's almost like I wanted Fury to be more to have gargled gravel for about 4 years and also be a chain smoker for 30.
I mean, to be fair, he does give his best Sean Schemmel impression.
That's not a terrible comparison, actually. Yeah, that's a pretty good comparison to what he does. I mean, it's definitely. I remember when when Uncrowned first came out. Again, I think you said it was too close to Linden. Which, yeah,
That's
Was
Fury,
voiced
basically.
by Masako X.
He's probably about your age, give or take a few years again.
So then, like, I mean, Team 4-Star is a, like, seminal part of my talking.
And they always were like interactions with fans where they were joking about Little Blue / Little Green. Like apparently there is a reference there. So it might not be an avid watcher, but you know, he's definitely seen some stuff.
I mean, he outright has Fury do a Kamehameha in the Blue Reel, or rather tried to before
The
before
copyright
the
fair
lawsuit
taken
slaps
away.
him down. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that DBZ, like, that could also be read as just DBZ.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Fury is absolutely more a DBZ than a DBZA, though he is comedic enough that there are some elements, but I think that might just be convergent evolution.
And also, like, you know, I wouldn't put it past Will to have watched Dragon Ball. And so, like, I could definitely see, you know, that being something that Will is aware of and understands inherently about Toriyama and Toriyama's style. But I guess, like, we should probably just briefly go into, like, the plot of the two books.
I mean, so the plot is every several years or so, there is a great tournament called the Uncrowned King Tournament, wherein a bunch of people from the various clans and an assortment of people who aren't affiliated with the clan compete to see who will be the uncrowned king of everyone who is underlord ranked specifically. And I believe it's the final 8 contenders who are given the uncrowned tattoo.
Yes.
The broken crown. It's
Yeah,
not
the
so much a tattoo as it is a literal
Addition to their soul.
our actual crown that they
Marks
just
them
like
permanently as competitors, basically. As contenders, rather. But yeah,
yeah.
Linden is chosen to be a part of the Akura team, specifically the team representing the clan as a whole.
This is after he straight up, like, he, in the final minutes of a duel between, like, a proxy war, I want to say, for, you know, it is like he becomes an underlord in like the final minutes, and Charity, who is running the proxy war, says, Lyndon, as punishment for killing my nephew, you get to be on my team.
So, you know what's funny? Rather than a proxy war, I'd almost call it a dogfight.
Yeah.
Because a proxy war requires two sides. This is just like the Akura clan sticking two of their dogs at each other.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's very much a, like... I mean, you could still call it a proxy war, I think. It's just...
Oh.
It's just a zoom... Like, if you zoom in enough, it becomes a dogfight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, one funny note. The Uncrowned tournament has, like, age limits, so it's underlords under the age of 35.
And Nathan just barely scrapes by, turning 35.
Well, I'm assuming we're going full spoilers with this.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I mean,
Like,
Which
series-wide
is funny
spoilers.
because Ethan is really not that young.
So that is one of the only outright lies he tells in the entire series.
Well,
I mean, he is
Because
he is Ethan is 35.
Ethan, well, it could also be that, like, Ethan, as he appears, has not aged beyond 35.
Or it could be that the Ethan identity is 35 years old.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right. There's possible ways that Ethan did not tell a lie there.
It's just like the closest thing to an outright lie he says.
This is the most untrue truism that he says.
Yes. But yeah, anyways, so there's basically two Akura clan teams that we, well, technically there are three, but really there's only two that are actually important.
Yeah, because one dies off screen to introduce the main antagonist.
Let's not get into that. That's not until the next book. Let's not get into that yet.
No,
Yes, but
Huh?
no, he's right. Book 8 is the main tournament.
Well, Book 8 is the brackets. Book 7 is the initial stages of the tournament.
But I'm confused. You were getting into like the fact that the dragons.
He's talking about the third Akura team, which is mostly composed of, extras.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm not
no,
saying
I'm talking-
that's an Uncrowned.
But like the third,
Well, they get eliminated on Crown. They don't,
the true third team was supposed to be the School of Rolling Earth or something.
Falling
Yeah,
Earth, I think. Yeah.
Who get murked off screen by the dragons
Yeah.
to show
yes.
who is the arc antagonist.
Yes. And of
Now-
course, the Akura clan replaces that team with a, bunch of Akura clan underlords.
Yes.
Now, if you want a proper proxy war, that's essentially what the entire Uncrowned King tournament is.
I mean, yes,
Yes.
that is truly like, because
It's basically a dick measuring contest through proxies, yeah.
well, it's also like, what if the Olympics had aggressive diplomacy behind the scenes?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what if
Because we see a lot of
instead
behind the scenes stuff going on in this tournament.
Right, because like this is very much like, what if the Olympics actually had policy implications?
Yeah, what if it had political consequences? Like, because all of you, your country's teams lost, that means you're weaker. That means you're ripe for invasion, that type of thing.
Or like,
I mean, not even that. It's like if one team places higher than the other, they get a favorable trade deal.
Mm-hmm. That too.
or like, who like it's also a way for alliances to be reshuffled.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Yeah,
ways for
before
like,
the tournament even begins, we get Lyndon and Yaren get separated for almost a year to train for the tournament.
And as to the surprise of no one, Lyndon goes full goblin mode.
I mean, this is like the second time or third time he's gone full goblin.
I mean, to the point that he stopped, like, grooming this time.
Yeah.
This is and, like...
I mean, this is also to the first time where someone's like, okay, we're making you take a break now.
I'm going to literally make you a phone so you can talk to your wife so you don't die.
And he breaks it from overuse.
Because he is who he is.
Yes. You can just fit so much codependency in this bad boy. Yes. No, the training stuff is really is pretty neat, but then we get the actual tournament proper, and we get to see all the wheeling and dealing and political play that goes on both behind and in front of the scenes. Including one of the monarchs deciding, hey, let's I'm just gonna recruit all the fucking Dread God cults because I'm an asshole.
I found that to be very fun when that first appeared.
Oh yeah, no, it's a nice twist, and also establishes Raygon Shen as, you know, a very, very entertaining kind of jackass. Yes. Sorry, you were saying, Fuzzy?
I was gonna say, how do y'all feel about the antagonist for this arc being a roided up princess?
Well, she's not the only antagonist, but yes, she is very funny.
I like the fact... I like... Safara as the antagonist is a very interesting threat, because we get...
She's more of a heavy than the villain, I think.
Like, the true villain is Sesh. Like, that is the true villain of this arc. Because, like, Raygon... Like, Shen is, like... He's just there being a dick. But it's Sesh who is the primary threat.
Yes. He's much more aggressive in his assholery than Shen is.
Like, Shen's just there to be a troll in many ways. But Safara as the representative of the threat, I'm not mad, because, like, she has there's a reason for her to be pissed in the form of a carry.
Yep.
And
she has understandable grievance against Lyndon in particular.
And we also got a sense of, like, she is not someone to be trifled with because of the way she essentially bodied Yaren and Mercy at the end of Ghostwater.
And that was before she was on the roids.
Right. She was still a new Underlord. She was, and then because of the intervention of the Beast King, was, you know, forced to withdraw, but that was only barely.
Yep. So it's a good establishment of a threat earlier on before said threat becomes directly relevant. But yeah, so there are a total of 8 factions present at the tournament, and each faction gets 4 teams for a total of 32 teams of 3 people. The factions are the Akura clan, the Aurelius clan, the Emmer Silentborn's faction, the Golden Dragon faction, Raygon Shen's faction, which is basically just the Dread God cults, Nine Court, the 8-man Empire, and of course all the miscellaneous ones under Northstrider's kind of guidance. Here. Against the play. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, my dog was reacting to some strange noises. Yeah, and like we get tidbits of like some really interesting like alternatives to how arts are used, with the hints about the what's the word I want to use here, the war bands of the Eight-Man Empire, and then also the way, like the first glimpses of how Emrys Silentborn, like the Emrys Silentborn's teams wield their sacred arts through like instruments and like wielding of remnants as like summoners, essentially.
Yeah, it's fascinating to see the different applications of the sacred arts through the different teams in the tournament. Yeah, then we actually get to see, I think it's what, 4 rounds of tournament total, including the final bracket. There's 3 qualifiers and then the bracket round, if I recall correctly.
Yes, it's the 3 qual rounds, which is
First one is the test of wit, I believe.
it's like the multi-stage test, yeah. And then
It's an obstacle
then
course,
it's
essentially.
the capture the flag,
yeah,
and
Yeah,
then it's team battles.
capture the flag, but it's Hunger Games.
Yes, and then team battles, and then it's the single elimination tournament.
What I found really interesting about that was because it was like in the final like set of the final bracket, like the Sweet 16 matchups, they really made it so that no one knew who they were fighting.
Yep.
Because like, who was Lyndon supposed to be up against initially? Safara.
Safara, yeah.
I think it was so far, yeah.
Yeren
And
was
I-
supposed to be against-
She probably would have destroyed him, but
I love that fake out, because like
oh yeah.
it would have been
And-
great.
I never expected that he would have to fight Little Blue with a knife.
Yeah, right.
I love that blooper. That might be my favorite blooper in the series. But yeah, no, it winds up being Lyndon versus Yeren, and that's the final thing we see of the tournament in the book before the book ends.
Mhm.
But before that, we should go into the other rounds because the other rounds are pretty neat.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
I mean, we sort of brushed over it, but I think we should go into Lyndon's training arc, because that's where, Lyndon really establishes himself in the eyes of the Akura clan, and, with the help of Fury, comes up with,
The Soul Palm.
the improved version of the Empty Palm.
And technically, the Dragon Descends.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least that's where he gets the seed for it before that fully blossoms.
And, I know y'all probably don't agree, but I would argue this is where the romance between Yeren and Lyndon really becomes apparent.
I mean, it was always apparent to some degree, but this is probably where it becomes the most blatant. Yes.
No, this is where Will starts bashing the readers over the head with it.
Like, it's clear in like Ghostwater. It's very clear in Ghostwater, but here it's, and then like Will says it outright in not so many words and Underlord, but here it's just like, hey, snaps fingers, pay attention to my words. Look at me, I'm the shipper now.
In a nutshell, yeah.
And I also remember, because this was the first book that I read right as it came out, I remember.
Yes,
this came out September 2019, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, I
think
believe
it was-
So, it's funny because we have the infection roots all in this call, because I believe Gen brought it to my attention.
Yes, because I was told by essentially by my best man who's going to be at my wedding, and then I read all the books, tell Fuzzy about it. Mill, you are intrigued by me and Fuzzy talking about it.
I was going
bully
through
Jack into reading it.
Yeah, I was going through a big reading phase that summer, and I think I'd just finished. Yeah, I think I just finished. Whatchamacallit? Stormlight, and was like, I need a new book series to read. You all have been talking about Cradle. I'll buy the first one. Read it in like half a night, got the rest of them, and then finished them within like 3 or 4 days.
So my journey through Cradle was a bit more complicated in that, like, I tried reading the first book, kind of just had a bit of an issue with it, got back on it, finished it, had a bit of trouble finishing the second book. Then I finished the second book, picked up the third book, and I was doing audiobooks at the time because, you know, I have a long commute and all that, so it's easier just to listen to audiobooks than to read regularly. And I just blazed through the rest of the series up to that point. I think up through book 10 was out by then. So I finished like 8 books in the span of like 3 weeks.
I think I binged through like the 6 books pretty quick because I just listened to them all the time. I listened to them at work, and so like I would just get through the book, read the next one, the whole way through, and then I was like, oh, no more books. By the time Underlord was coming out, because I think Underlord was like the first book where I was like, damn it, I have to wait.
Yep.
Oh no, it was the other way around. I read Cradle then Stormlight, so I just decided to read after hearing you all talk about it. So.
Yeah. What was it?
But
yeah, no,
but yes. Anyway, I definitely remember when Uncrowned first came out. I think Fuzzy, at the very least, was very much not a fan of Pride and the whole thing in the book. Certainly in the first part of the book.
I mean, that's because he was like not. You should recall, I was not a fan of like most of the Akura clan.
And you were probably
did
right
not
to
enjoy
do
Mercy.
Because she hadn't had her arc yet.
But,
yes, but I also was like, oh, this is her arc, and I was correct.
But I mean,
you really called it.
But yeah, I just feel like Pride's thing was necessary, because otherwise there wouldn't have been an outright antagonist for that part of the book.
Yes. No.
He is such an asshole during that part.
And to be fair,
it's also so funny that
it is especially funny with the benefit of hindsight and why he is bullying Lyndon so hard.
Well, it's not just that; it's also the fact that it obviously sets up his character throughout the entire rest of the series. Of I do not like you, Lyndon. I do not like what you're doing to my sister, and the fact that he continues on that even as Lyndon gets stronger and stronger. To the point where Lyndon is like, I know I can squash him like a bug, but it's kind of satisfying that he's treating me the same.
It is
it's so funny. It is so funny because like everyone in the main cast just ascends to like ludicrous levels throughout the series, and Pride ends the series at the same level we were introduced to him at. It is just so funny.
I will Pride, the Pride-Lyndon relationship really just turns into Tien and Vegeta at some point.
From DBZA, basically,
right. Though I have a hard time figuring out which one is which.
Yeah.
It swaps, because it starts where Pride is the Vegeta and Lyndon's the Tien. and then it swaps after after Wintersteel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Lyndon's big power up.
Mm-hmm.
Because once Lyndon becomes the Sage of Twin Stars, that's when he's too powerful.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean the other thing about this part is this is probably the most we see Lyndon lose.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, he gets the shit beat out of him on the regular while he's perfecting his techniques.
Mm-hmm. But it all comes back around for that satisfying scene where he just destroys pretty much the entire young Underlord section of the Akura clan.
Mm-hmm.
He does single-handedly traumatize an entire generation of the Akura clan.
The only ones he doesn't beat, I believe, are Grace and Pride, and of course
Mostly
Mercy.
I mean, he's still.
Mostly because
I don't think Grace fights him in that round.
Yeah, because Grace is like, no, why no?
I mean,
Because she understands.
I'm fairly sure it's actually said that Grace fought him like once, didn't even hurt him that badly, and then just left him alone.
Mm-hmm.
He did it because it was funny,
Yeah.
which I also find excellent. It's
Yeah.
a good time.
And hey, he gave Fury a fight bonus, so
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, that's not that hard.
you say that,
No.
but Fury does not get interested in people easily, from what Charity was saying. It really was a case of, you know, the only time he really got interested in Lyndon was that moment. He sort of, yes, he taught, you know, showed him the palm strike techniques, but it was more a case of idle curiosity of, this guy uses punchy techniques too. That's pretty neat.
He seems neat. I like him.
And then, yeah,
Mhm.
Lyndon just curb stomps his way through through most of the Akura Underlords under 35, and Fury suddenly goes, "Yep, no, I like him. I like him. I want
Fury
him
just-
to stick around. I want to fight him."
Fury goes, Charity, where did you say you found him? And how can I get one?
Mm,
I do love the dynamic between Charity and Fury as well.
mm.
Oh, there was, like, it's genuinely, like, if I'm honest, it feels like one of the more, like, the healthiest parent-child relationships we see.
Also, Fury is just so unserious compared to the stoicism that is Charity.
I mean,
Also, it's really funny.
I mean, I think
Go ahead.
that the Charity Fury relationship is healthy in the fact that it's been basically, you know, decades, if not centuries, for Charity to sort of work through likely.
She's 150,
issues.
I believe.
Yeah.
So about
She's
over a century.
she's worked through her issues at this point, and she gets what Fury's about. I imagine it wasn't that healthy when she was younger.
Well, we kind of have explicit confirmation that Fury's a neglectful father.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's very much fight sexual and first, and everything else second.
Mhm.
I mean, we should note he has other children.
Mm.
He does. They're
And
just
he-
not
and he
really
does-
talked about besides Charity because they're relatively unimportant.
And to be fair, I get certainly from the way he acts, you know, towards, well, from what we know of Fury, in the coming books and what we learn about him, I get the feeling he's kind of mellowed out a bit as he's gotten older. I mean, I don't want
absolutely.
to. I don't want to get too much into, you know, past book 8, but the fact that he takes people with him is a big thing, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it's also, like, he's been at the top for so, like, he was at the top for so long And like he's like he's learned the secret, right? Like he knows the big secret.
Yeah.
And so like in many ways, like he's realized that none of this matters. Right? Like, and it's very likely that like he learned that when he became a herald.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so like for Fury to be like, oh, none of this matters. In the sense that like, you know, he's never gonna, you know, become the monarch that replaces Malice. He's not gonna ascend on his own. Like he's not gonna, you know, do the transformation.
Yeah. I mean, here's how I take Fury. He's sort of similar to Osriel in that sense of, I think he's disappointed in the parts of his family that don't take fighting as seriously as he does. And I'm not saying that, you know, he's right to do so, but I think that's sort of...
And also, like, he sees the fact that the monarchs don't do the responsible thing. Because, like, you know, they're, like, Fury is fight sexual, but he also is very protective of humanity in the face of the dragons.
Yeah.
Like, he's a fighter, he's a warrior, but we get confirmation that he's a war god to some cultures. And, like, you don't get to be called a war god if, like, you're not protecting someone. You know?
Absolutely, yeah.
Right? Like, the fact that he is worshipped in that way, it means that, like, has a very positive relationship to the world outside. And, like, to know that at the very top, like, you know, Sesh could just leave. And not only would that remove the threat of the dragons, it removed the threat of the dread gods. And, like, he's probably lost family to the dread gods. Absolutely. Right? And so, like...
I also think there's maybe an element of he's not allowed to leave. Because he's too necessary to the clan, and Malice won't let him ascend. You know, at this point, I can't remember when he says it, or if it's said in this book or one of the next few books, but he doesn't have anyone he can really fight with.
He says it in this book.
Yeah, you know,
he says it in these books.
He doesn't have any real competition. You know, he obviously, you know, basically anybody under Archlord is extermination for him. You know, it's not satisfying. You know, even Archlords can't handle him. No, all he's got are the heralds and sages of the world, and they're not willing to, you know, really go all out because it's not worth it.
The only ones it seems like he has any kind of, like, actual rivalry or like sense of, oh, you're gonna go all out against me is Zaris.
Yeah.
Zoris.
Yeah. And, you know, I get the feeling that
and maybe the other Dragon Herald.
Yeah, and, you know, I get the feeling they probably don't want to encourage Fury to fight them very often.
Right, like, it's very probable that, like, they only clash on occasion. Right?
Yeah.
Or, like,
it's very much it's very much a case of, if they clash, it's all right, you've gone too far here, back off now. You know.
Well, that's the thing, is that he's become the nuclear option.
And he hates that.
Yeah.
He absolutely hates it.
And, you know, Fury would obviously then want to ascend and you know, find people he can actually compete with, but obviously Malice isn't going to let him do that, because then that leaves the Akuras without a herald.
Yep.
Right.
And like, heralds are kind of hard to come by.
Yeah.
Like, just to kind of skip ahead a little bit, like when we last see Fury for like the rest of the series, like he does say like, you know, he and like the reason he doesn't like Malice isn't there to say goodbye is because they've already said what they needed to because they fought over this.
Yeah, no, I mean,
times.
yeah. Again, going a little bit further ahead, we get, you know, bits of the books from Malice's perspective where she thinks about Fury, and it is very clear that they have not been talking civilly for quite some time.
Yeah, they do not have a very positive relationship at this point.
They explicitly ended on bad terms.
Yeah.
And I mean,
you know,
we also get the hints of that when Malice, like, so spoilers, I guess. Mercy does lose, and Malice chastises her. Fury does not care for it.
Yeah.
And like you can tell, it's not because Fury doesn't like Fury's like doesn't want to see this because it's Mercy and he cares for Mercy. It's also he's disappointed in his mother for doing this.
And I think to a certain extent, Fury probably does respect Mercy at this point, and you know, respect the companions that she's made, if nothing else. You know,
right? Because it's people who are keeping up with her for the like someone like. It's people who are not only keeping up with her,
but pushing her to keep going. Yeah,
right. And like explicitly, that's not something neither he nor Charity had. Right? Because like when we get a little bit of Mercy's like backstory, we find out that when she is first introduced to the Book of Eternal Night, it was the book that Fury and Charity were exposed to show them failure for the first time. Right.
Which is, you know, A+ parenting.
I don't think anybody would call Malice a good parent.
She's definitely not a good parent, but I do understand where she's coming from, and for the angle of, yes, it is important for children to experience the idea that they can fail.
It's the Master Roshi posing as Jackie Chun to beat the shit out of Goku in the tournament.
What are you talking about? Master Roshi asked his good friend Jackie Chun to teach Goku that lesson.
Yes, exactly. I'm sorry. How could I forget?
Yeah, people point to Master Roshi acting like Jackie Chun at the Tien tournament like it's some kind of gotcha. Clearly, you know, Master Roshi didn't want to.
They're just good friends. They taught each other.
Didn't want to sully Jackie Chun's reputation by having him lose to Tien. Yeah, that's definitely what happened. Anyway,
jokes aside.
Yeah, we probably should get to the tournament proper now. And the first round, yes, is basically
a test of wits almost.
I mean, it's basically it's a test of
skill almost as much as wits.
I mean, it's a show-off test basically. You know, it's all right. These are the people we're going to be watching. These are the true contenders. Lyndon tries to hold back so that he doesn't give his shit away. He does very badly at this.
He makes it to the top 10.
Did he? I thought he was 11th. I think he was 11th or 12th, something like that. Yeah, but yes, very high.
It closest to be a semantic difference.
But yes, he was very high.
64th.
Yeah.
Exactly, for the entire tournament.
Which gets some people a bit sus, but most of them don't point it out.
I mean, Charity very much notices it, just like, wait, he was 64th on that one? I thought he was 62nd on the last one. And he was 61st on that one, and 63rd on that one. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's kind of just how it goes. It's just like, god damn it.
I think Charity's the only one who actually cottons on to his bullshit. Or at least that we know of.
Because she's the only one actually looking for it. The others just, everyone else just sees, oh, he's from the Black Flame Empire. Yeah, he's an Aurelius, but he's a Black Flame Empire Aurelius. He can't be that good.
I think Fury kind of catches it, but he's just like meh.
Well,
Fury
Fury
dislikes
very much...
Aethan specifically because he does not go all out.
Yeah, Fury very much develops a dislike of Aethan throughout this entire book, which is kind of amusing.
It only comes to a head in the next one, though.
Yeah.
Fury specifically doesn't like him because Aethan surrenders. Aethan gives up.
Yeah.
Which I can get. That is fair.
Yeah. But yeah, we should also point out that the head of the Rainbow Court, or the Nine Cloud Court,
Nine Cloud Court, yeah.
Nine Cloud Court team is somebody who Lyndon is very sus of.
Because Serial showed her in a vision a few years back.
Yeah, it's Shamiara, who Serial specifically said was the monarch of the Nine Cloud Court. Yet here she is as an underlord. Lyndon is very concerned about this. very concerned.
Yeah, it turns out that she cut a backroom deal with the other monarchs to let her participate as long as she forewent the prizes when she quote-unquote inevitably wins.
But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. If it wasn't for Safara, I feel like that would be the thing that Lyndon was panicking about throughout the entire book. As it is, it's a case of, I don't like this, but there's a bigger issue. There's a bigger dragon-shaped issue here.
I really wish we got Safara versus Shamiara. It was never
honestly what we got instead was just so excellent that I can't really agree with you there.
But yeah, and then
I agree.
Yeah,
but I really wish we got, because that would have been a really interesting way to show off Shamiara and demonstrate like, yes, she is the youngest and the weakest of the monarchs, but she is not something to be trifled with.
Yeah. But yes, so second round of the tournament is basically capture the crown.
Capture the flag meets Hunger Games, as Gen put it.
Yeah. And yeah, there's so much tension going on. The Akura teams try and meet up, but nobody agrees on who's in charge. It's not helped by the fact that Pride is trying to be in charge, and he's very bad at it.
Yep.
What are you talking about? He's the best.
But it leads to, again, a very funny moment when Lyndon takes an attack meant for Pride, dies as a result, and Dross is just like, this is why I should be in charge.
Oh yeah, we almost forgot. Northstrider put in a field for the whole tournament that basically resurrects anyone who dies in the course of the tournaments.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think Lyndon gets either takes one to the chest or gets his head blown off by Dragon's Breath.
I think Safara literally cuts his head off.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Which begs the question, how many people have died?
Oh, a lot of people have died.
Like, is this like a thing that, like, is the people dying thing very common? Or is this, like, or do the monarchs go, like, no lethal force, at least for a while?
I mean...
I think probably it would be just, they changed the format such that it would, they'd probably put in a no-kill rule in the initial stages as well, but I have no doubt that there would probably be... Well, to be fair, once it got to the round of 16, right? Once it got to the formal bracket of the tournament, it wouldn't be hard for the existing monarchs to just implement that field, where they just res the person who died.
I seem to recall that Rhaegon Shen was supposed to be playing the Northstrider role. And then
Maybe.
Northstrider turned up and basically told him to fuck off back to his throne.
Yep.
But yeah, it's Northstrider basically makes it so that people don't die for the duration of the tournament, which, you know, is pretty much a flex on his part.
I mean, what are his? Now that we know thinks about his authority, it's weird because I think he's just probably borrowing Emrys.
Very possibly, yeah.
Possibly.
Well, no, it's more that he was specifically granted authority over the people in the tournament by the other people in the tournament.
Also possible.
No, I think that
regardless,
is
the
actually
capture
that's the canon explanation, I believe, from the as per Word of Will.
But yes, so second round basically goes long, and Pride is unfortunately eliminated.
Very unfortunate. I do like how he basically ensures his elimination by giving Lyndon one of the crowns in the capture the flag to guarantee that Lyndon moves on.
So if I try to think of the people we know, Lyndon, Yaren, Aethan go through, Mercy goes through.
We should also mention, at least briefly, the third member of Team Aethan Yaren.
Oh yes.
You forgot her name, didn't you?
Yeah, Narasea. Yeah, I did forget her name.
Sadly, so did most of the other people in the world.
She was cool, but she was very much out of her weight class.
Oh, no, and she knew it. She was just there to have a good time.
I mean, again, going into sort of spoilers for the next books, but after she fucking competes in the tournament, she's basically like, "All right, I'm done. I'm just gonna have fun now. And just go on a fucking binge."
Wait, can you blame her?
The fact that like her whole thing is just, I'm here to make fun of Aethan.
Yeah.
And go and have a good time doing it. That is all I'm here to do, and it's a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she unfortunately is also eliminated at this stage.
Yep. Also, I will say I do like how. So the rules of the capture the flag thing is like once you have a crown on your head, you basically will move on unless you die.
Mm-hmm.
So like, Lyndon manages to beat Safara by putting a crown on her head, basically guaranteeing that she won't be able to eliminate anyone else and put them on a respawn timer so long as she so long as he's able to prevent anyone else from doing it. You know. Mm-hmm. She kills him almost immediately afterwards, but still.
Yeah, it was a good play. But yes, so then we get to, I believe, the final team battles. So
which are just a standard 1 round elimination.
So
well, not 1 round per se, but like
the Akura Prime team face off against the Black Dragons, if I recall correctly. Was
Black Dragons, who is just 1 participant
at this point? Yes, 9 Black.
We had more, but then I think Lyndon ate one of them.
Very possibly, yeah.
Awesome.
But yes, 9 Black Flame is the only one who's left, and he is orthosing it up real hard now.
He's kind of lost his goddamn mind because all the Black Flame mantra.
But Lyndon does the nice thing rather than the competitive thing, and manages to bring him back to himself, which is made all the more sad when Safara then kills him.
What an asshole.
I mean, that moment was when North Strider delivered his last words was pretty fucking
it was dark as hell.
Yeah.
Though we do need to address the fact that
sorry,
there's a lot of racism going on here.
Oh yeah, so the fantastical variety, of course.
I mean, the Black Dragons hate the Golds hate the Blacks. It's a whole thing.
And everybody, all the dragons hate the humans.
Allegedly.
But yeah, interestingly though, the Black Flame team, gets to face off against the Aurelius team.
That was
Oh, yeah,
really fun.
Mm.
That was a really fun tournament. That was a really fun bit.
Yeah. And
Those fucking Yaren.
I mean, it's the fact that, you know, Ethan just happened to accidentally train her perfectly for this fight. And she's so skeptical about it because he's been so all-knowing this entire time. It's like, you can't have known this. How could you have known this? And like, I didn't. This was just good luck. Have
To
fun.
which she goes, bullshit. And, you know, rightfully so, I might add.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, no. Ethan's been doing this I am all knowing bullshit for a while now. She'd be dumb not to call bullshit on it. But yeah, all of our pro tag folks basically move on to the single elimination bracket, the final part of the tournament.
But unfortunately, there are too many before the Uncrowned, so we've got to have a round before that happens. And
Yes.
it's announced.
A round of 16.
Ethan, I believe, faces Sharmiara.
Well, we'll get to that when we get to the next
No.
one. First,
I'm fairly sure the OG matching was Ethan versus Sharmiara.
Oh yeah,
right.
that's
I'm fairly
was
sure that
always-
was. I'm fairly sure that one didn't change.
Yes, that was it was...
the only one that we
because-
saw that wasn't changed anyway.
Well, because...
because they were trying to set Ethan up to be a jobber for Miara.
Mhm.
Right. Because... essentially, Malice was like, I need Mercy to win.
Mm.
So Mercy gets to go up against a jobber from the 8-Man Empire. Who, I love that one. I love that guy so much.
Oh yeah.
His entire thing is that he pretends to be like.
Pretends to be feral,
Uh,
but he's actually really cultured.
He's like
Really
Which
polite.
is so funny.
known as a poet and philosopher in his homeland.
And Mercy's just the entire time just going, really? You're really trying to pull this? Okay. I know about you, dude. You can stop this. You can keep your dignity when I beat you.
I think he's just there to have a good time.
Maybe. But yes, so as I think we've said before, the matchings were made, and then they were actually not those matchings because, I don't know, the Monarchs wanted to fuck with them.
Politics.
They changed their minds.
It's politicking. That's all it is.
But yes, in the end, it was Yaren versus Lyndon. And Lyndon was real upset about that and did not fight for the first, I'd say, 2/3 of it. Which really pissed Yaren off. Really.
It also led to what's probably the biggest argument in the fandom at the time, and perhaps even now, which is, if Lyndon had been going full throttle from the start, would he have won?
Mm.
No.
Why not?
I don't think he would.
I'm not coming down on either side. It's not worth it.
It's a contentious argument. I understand why.
I think
I
both
don't
sides
think
have good arguments.
Wight at a place where he could have won against Yaren.
Both sides have good arguments. I'm not gonna come down on either side of the fence.
Well, my main thing is that if he'd been going full out from the start, he would have outlasted her. Because the only reason they ran out of steam when they did is because he wasted so much time on defense.
Like, Lyndon, but the thing is, that's always, let's be clear, Lyndon always Lyndon's able to outlast anyone Lyndon will always win a battle of attrition.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, we're at the point where Lyndon barely has to mention the fact that his blood-forged iron body is taking his Madara up, because it's not actually taking that much anymore. in a percentage-wise.
Right, prizes.
Oh, yeah, we haven't talked about the prizes. So I think...
Lyndon and Yaren buy a house together.
Yeah, that was very funny when Lyndon suddenly realized what the fuck he actually said.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit!
When he realized, you know, the implication.
As I said, Will drops all the subtlety in this book. All the subtlety.
Subtlety, what's that? Will Wight, probably.
On their first date?
Next book.
That's after Lyndon eliminated and Yaren's uncrowned.
But yeah, so they get a cloud ship each, and Lyndon and Yaren decide to join theirs together.
And then Ethan comes along.
No, not yet. That's next book. We will get to that. We will get to that. Second round, I believe, was an Archlord weapon.
Yes.
Or just a weapon from
That's
the vault.
where he got his flying sword, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Wave Dancer.
That's where he got his flying Nimbus sword, yes. Yaren
Bad
gets
stuff.
Netherclaw, Ethan gets a weapon that he can turn into scissors. Zeal, who we haven't mentioned yet, gets a big shield.
Oh yeah, Zeal
Which has
actually,
a lot of... That also has implications.
And Mercy gets a bitchin' monocle.
She gets a scouter. Let's be real.
Yeah, she gets a scout.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
And then the prize after that, I believe, was presents from 2 of the Monarch factions.
Yes.
Not of their own.
Lyndon gets like, essentially, hey, your veins don't hurt no more.
No. He explicitly doesn't get diamond veins.
Yeah, he doesn't.
No, which is the one that he does get?
He
Iron
gets Iron Heart.
Heart, yeah, Iron Heart. Which basically makes his blood-forged body more efficient, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, very much more efficient. And Yaren is the one that gets the diamond veins.
Right. The points sage. Wants those.
We'll get to that. We'll get to...
But yes, so the thing we haven't mentioned throughout all of this is what's happening in the heavens, and it's not good. It's very not good.
They are straight up not having a good time right now.
Because Markiel's chickens finally come home to roost, and
He refuses to accept that it's his fault, but you know.
But basically he decides, right, we need a new influx of recruiters or recruitees, and start sending people to the iterations, which leads to Kieran of the Hounds arriving in Cradle to basically say, hey kids, why don't you kill each other even more, and if you win, I'll give you something that can kill a god.
Yeah, he puts up Penance, which is an arrow that can kill any one thing, one time, as the grand prize for the tournament, basically. And it shifts the politics of the tournament quite a bit to something much more intensive.
Lyndon suddenly remembers that Sharmiara is a big fucking problem, and goes to tell the others. Unfortunately, he's very rudely accosted by some weird hobo guy by the name of Northstrider.
Oh, hi, Northstrider!
Who has finally cottoned on to the fact that Lyndon's mind spirit is not a normal thing.
What in the world is Dross?
And that is where the book ends, so I believe we can now move on to... Let me just get...
Wintersteel!
Wintersteel, which, honestly, is...
one of the best books in the series,
I would
hands
say
down.
top 3.
I literally only have one serious issue with Wintersteel. Otherwise,
Yeah, I know. I have the same issue.
But we will get to that when we get to that.
But yes, I would say top 3.
Oh, pretty easily.
pretty easily. We finally get to see how the Sword Sage died, and it is honestly
Depressing.
pitiful.
Look, this may be a controversial opinion, but he absolutely deserved what he got.
He got arrogant, and it cost him.
I mean, he is just so fucking baffled by the fact that not only are these fucking country bumpkins attacking and stabbing him, they're doing it successfully. He is genuinely stunned that this is happening. That not only were they like stupid
But
enough
he
to attack him,
expected
but
them to attack him because, you know,
they're idiots.
and they have been poisoning him on the regular.
Yes.
Which he knew about.
But it's the fact that they managed to do it successfully that really gets his goat. But yes, and then we get
And
to...
it gets his guts.
Yeah, but yes, and then we get to probably, I think, one of the funniest things in the entire series, which is Fury trying to lie about Sharmiara.
Yeah. Also, is this what provokes Charity to just drop him through a portal?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Because he does not like he lets it slip in front
Also, props to Fury. He could have stopped that portal.
Yeah.
He could have,
Just
but
chose-
took it like
he
a
chose-
champ.
He chose not to because he was aware that he did a bad.
No, I think that's the thing with Fury is like he respects Charity. Like even if he doesn't always agree, he respects her enough to be like, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, Fury... That was just a very funny moment. But then we get into the tournament
I need to do something about this.
Yes.
satisfying and also very funny.
Your Northstrider did that one on purpose. That was on purpose.
Do you mind do you
absolutely.
mind just bringing things back a minute or two because my computer fucking sucks right now and I hate it.
Okay.
Oh no, did we go down?
I don't think the stream went down, but I certainly fucking went down.
Rip. Okay, so we were talking about Zeal's match.
Right, I lost everything basically after talking about Fury being dropped through a portal by Charity.
Okay, so we were talking about the matches in the round of 16.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that Yaren
Yeah.
goes up against some jobber or something, and
No.
we know Zeal.
Round of 16.
Oh, not Yaren. Mercy goes against the jobber.
Yeah, Mercy goes against the 8-man Empire jobber who was a poet and a philosopher but tried to act feral.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ortis. No, what's his face?
Um,
The
yes.
seventh Pertezalaus.
yeah.
Pertezalaus, yes.
Yes, Zeal goes up against poor Therian Nils.
Who, again, gets absolutely fucking destroyed.
Yeah.
And his friend is like, Well, best of 16.
No
being
shame in
around
that.
16 ain't bad.
Yeah, no shame in that. No shame in top 16.
You know, I do have to say, Kalen Archer and Jan Chomei did actually earn my respect in like these sets of books. To the point where I'm like, okay, you're not as dickish as I thought.
They are still
Yeah.
kind of dicks, though.
I mean,
Yeah.
that is the thing with being a Dread God cultist, but
I mean,
Meh.
we'll get to it at the end of the books. But
There's an interesting social dynamic. There's like an interesting socioeconomic dynamic there, because, and I know Gen and I will have a field day with this. The Dread God cults are primarily made up of the disadvantaged.
yes.
Yep. Very much a lot of
Because-
different people.
Because it's the only realistic way in which poor people
outside. Is there anyone outside of the main monarch factions can rise in strength in any meaningful way?
Right.
But yeah.
but yes,
I don't remember who.
I mean, the only other one we really care about is Aethan versus Sharmiara. Aethan destroys her in 9 seconds.
Which is terrifying for everyone.
What's more terrifying is the fact that Dross says that he and Linden could do it quicker.
Yes.
and then Lyndon realizes he's right.
Yeah, and to be fair, I think that says more about Miara than anything else. She's powerful, yes, but she's very, I would argue, unskilled.
Yes.
Yeah, because she got she had to take the mantle when she's one of the most pitiful characters in the series in many ways.
She is.
Mm-hmm.
We should also point out the resolution to the Northstrider cliffhanger, which is Northstrider trying to take Dross away and Linden forcing him to at least pause. He doesn't quite
Also-
make him stop, but he certainly makes him pause and come back, and Linden is invited to the Council of the Monarchs.
Well, no, it's because he manages to open the door, or you know what I mean. He manages to successfully
keep the connection
open
to Dross
the
open, yeah.
gate.
Yeah. No, I don't think he even actually manages to open the gate. I think he just manages to hold on to his connection with Dross.
Mm-hmm. Which is pretty rad.
Yeah. I mean, he might be able to. It's possible that he, kept the portal open enough to keep that connection going, but I don't think he actually opened the portal itself, because that would have been, basically pitting his will against Northstrider for real, and Linden was not ready for that.
Yep.
But yes, basically it results in Linden getting a backstage view of the tournament and learning the fact that, all of these matches had been politicked
fixed,
about.
yeah.
Well, they're not fixed in the sense that they are thrown by some parties. It's more that they're the matchups are fixed.
Mm-hmm.
Which again, the reason I make that distinction is that the matchups are a vital component of how some of the upsets happen, like Shamiara versus Ethan.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Because again, Ethan was supposed to be a jobber for Miara. This is established.
This is known, yes. But as it turned out, he was... I mean, it's really... This is where his decades of planning comes to fruition, because he is consistently valued, and that is exactly how he likes it.
Yep.
But
I do like how after the round of 16, and everyone gets their uncrowned tattoos, and then they go out for their training. Ethan just quietly ascends to Overlord.
yeah.
Ethan also makes it a point to be interviewed, and I think that's the funniest thing in the world.
Yes. Oh yeah, and then Raygon Shen just comes in and straight up bribes Ethan to throw his next match.
Yeah.
Which he does in the most hilarious manner possible.
To be fair, Ethan got a really good deal.
He did. He got a fantastic deal out of it.
Oh yeah, no.
But yeah,
I bet Raygon Shen is.
So let's
doing so.
Let's just...
Oh no, absolutely. If Shen hadn't given them the Soul Forge, he would not have died.
But let's just go back a few steps. So yes, the 8 Uncrowned gets trained with a Sage. Mercy obviously goes with Charity. Yeren goes with the Winter Sage, and Ethan goes with Claudia, the Sage of 1,000 Eyes, who is wonderful. Because
she's great.
It's the first person who can really spar with Ethan.
In terms of talking.
In terms of dialogue, yeah. In terms of, yeah, we know everything, and we fucking adore it. But literally, Ethan arrives at the remnants of the Aurelius Manor, goes into a vault, and comes back out an Overlord.
Yeah, he just...
The funniest part is that he feels bad about it, because, like, he was like, oh, I promised them I would, like, actually, like, let them keep up, and, I'm gonna have to break that promise.
Stakes too high. But Lyndon is not left behind entirely, because Northstrider wants to keep testing Dross to improve his own, basically, semi-presence.
Which was planned by Ethan.
And in doing so, Northstrider gives him, basically the start.
The reason why he's forced to leave.
Yeah.
Northstrider gives him the suck.
And gives Lyndon his new and probably best technique, the consume technique.
Okay, he teaches Lyndon how to suck good.
He's like...
Hold on. Damn it, soundboard.
Oh my. There you go.
Basically, it's just, Lyndon, while Dross is in the other room taking a test, Northstrider sucks a fat pig to show him how to do it.
And then interesting.
Yeah, but then they get Lyndon and a bunch of the other folks who were eliminated from the tournament get sent to do missions and shit, including investigating a certain dread god.
Yeah, basically what happens is the Monarchs learn that the Wandering Titan is about to wake up, which is decades earlier than he was supposed to. So basically, the Akuras send their factions to protect it from the Dread God cults. The Dread God cults, turn up to do their thing, and the dragons are just there for collateral damage.
For shits and giggles, basically.
So Fury goes out to basically keep the peace there, but all the fighting is done basically by the Underlords, and maybe some golds. And this is where Lyndon takes his greatest step up and becomes the dreaded point sage.
Yes,
because Fury basically offers a reward system of if you take out a certain amount of a certain type of cultist or a cultist tower, you get points, and points can be used to buy good stuff, including the diamond veins that Lyndon craved so dearly.
And Lyndon very quickly Lyndon becomes his team leader and very quickly turns into a monster looking for points.
You say a monster, but Narasea is just like, you should show this side to Yeren. She'd really fucking like it.
Yeah, but that's because it's Yaren.
Oh,
We
we
also
should.
learned-
We should.
We
Yeah,
also learned something about Grace in that
Yeah.
moment.
we should also point out that I think it's when Charity is taking Lyndon back to the tournament to watch the quarterfinals. Charity offers him to Grace in terms of engagement. Lyndon turns her down, but Charity's like, you should act on your thing with Yaren before it's too late. And Lyndon just thinks about her being asked out and just goes, I don't think I have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about this.
Also, it's important to note, Lyndon says no, Grace said yes.
Grace said yeah,
Yes,
no,
yes.
she was on board.
To be fair, is she wrong though?
No.
she's
No.
not.
Lyndon is
Not
quite
my
easily
type,
one of the most
personally.
eligible bachelors in the correct.
Because, okay, the stream went down for like a minute.
Oh,
That's why I was saying stop.
okay.
I also missed
Okay.
part of that. Yes, it's back now. I hate my life. I'm gonna have to do something about this now. I mean, that was just pure internet drop, but I'm getting very sick of tech problems. Very, very
I
sick
get
of
that.
it. Because I don't know what's
On the plus
causing
side,
it.
our stream did not go down, so
I mean, it
there's
did.
that.
I'm fairly sure it did, but alright.
Oh, well.
Anyway, it doesn't
but-
matter. Nothing I can do about it now. But yes,
Yeah,
I was saying we should talk about Lyndon and Yaren's date.
Well, I
that
was
was
gonna
very
say, would you like a quick lesson in tropes and the deconstruction that is going on here? Well, it's more of a reconstruction.
Go for it.
So in Janja, generally, at some point early on in the series, the protagonist joins a sect which functions off of contribution points, and they have this entire series of side quests where there's an absolutely vital item that they need that's gated behind contribution points, so they go on a series of fetch quests and like side gags, and then that ends up becoming a whole thing, and then they later get the item. So it's like it's a very established trope in the genre, and that's what Will is playing with, and I think that did fly over some people's heads. I know that there's a good chunk of the Cradle fan base that are avid readers of trashy Chinese web novels.
Yeah.
So, just
well.
explain. Look, again, I respect it, but at the same time, I don't think you read the level of trash I'm talking about.
Oh no, I have standards.
Yes.
I also have standards. They're low standards, but they are still standards.
Oh, by the way, I thought of a new cultivation book to recommend you guys that might fill the void of Cradle to some extent.
We'll get into that
Post in the chat.
after we finish. But
Yeah.
but yeah, that is interesting. It's clear that Will knows his stuff when it comes to the tropes for this genre.
Yeah, Will has definitely done his research.
Yeah. If only through personal reading.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but-
it's not so much research as going through the classic writer's dilemma. Go ahead, Mel.
I mean, just going through those and going, I can do this better.
Exactly. Yes, he was like,
He was correct.
he was right.
It was very correct.
Yeah, Cradle remains it is definitely the best work of Janja. I don't know if we can say it's like the best internationally, because that becomes a matter of taste. but there are some that are very good. There's some series that are very good, and by some I mean like 3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that,
you know.
that's incorrect.
But yes,
I say this as someone who has read literally dozens of them.
But yes, Lyndon and Yaren's date.
Very, very,
You have to
very.
head out for a moment. I will be back. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
But yes, basically they go to this super special restaurant, private room. But when they arrive, a member of the Shah family is there, and he and his friends are drunken idiots and don't realize who's there until one of them finally looks up and sees, the 2 people who just, stunned the world basically with their fight. Because, anyone who's anyone will have realized that Yeren was touching upon a sage, touching upon an icon, and,
Lyndon was going toe-to-toe with that.
yeah, and only just lost out, so... yeah.
So
very
he is quite
quickly-
literally shitting his pants trying to get his drunken asshole friends to shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, they very quickly vacate the area, and Yeren is very happy about that.
Also, Lyndon and Yaren both get fashion advice from the 2 biggest shippers on their team.
Oh, we forgot to mention the fact that while Lyndon was with the Akura clan, he had to do some basically publicity, one of which was attending a play with Mercy. During an intermission, Mercy asked him about his relationship with Yeren. And just as the play was about to start up and Lyndon was going, phew, saved by the play, Mercy literally puts a stop to it all so she can get his answer.
It's so
Which
great.
is just a great flex.
Yeah.
Absolute power move right there.
But yes, Lyndon and Yeren are given fashion advice by Mercy and Ethan, which is great. It works perfectly. But yes, by this
And
point...
Ethan and Mercy had a little bit of a conversation beforehand.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure Mercy threatened Ethan to not overdo it with Lyndon.
Oh, almost certainly.
And he did anyway.
He
wouldn't
didn't
he?
do it as badly as he could have.
He held back, but still.
We've also forgotten to mention one of the greatest through lines throughout the entire books, which is Ethan's frustration with Lyndon's hair care situation.
Yes. Oh my god. He is literally giving Lyndon hair advice as he's being dragged to reportedly trained by the sage.
And again, Claudia is just like, Ethan, I missed you.
To be fair, if I was Claudia, I would agree.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But yes, so quarterfinals, Ethan
we
takes
get
Ethan
Ethan
takes
versus
the
Jan Chomei, which is my favorite comedy bit.
the most hilarious dive possible. Because I'm fairly sure Reagan Shen even asks him to make it, subtle. Ethan refuses.
Ethan
Yeah,
goes,
no, he
"How about
strapped
no?"
bombs to himself.
No, first things first, when he comes out, he goes full Apollo Creed
Apollo Creed.
in Rocky 4. Like,
Yes.
full Apollo Creed in Rocky 4, and then is like, you won't take me down so easily, hits him once he explodes.
Yeah, no, he literally wears a bomb vest that would explode
Yeah.
on contact with Blood Madra.
Then Jan Chomei
So it
tries
could
to...
not be more obvious that he was throwing that match.
Yeah. Second round, Jan Chomei tries to take it a little more cautiously and slowly. No, he still explodes. And as a revenge, North Strider basically strips Ethan naked and makes him...
Do a walk of shame through the streets.
Yeah, but Ethan doesn't
But
care.
joke's on him because Ethan has no shame.
Ethan has no shame and is very proud of himself.
I mean, He's not wrong.
Yeah, Ethan is, by all accounts, a very good-looking man.
Mm-hmm. But yes, Yeren...
Next one
how-
is Zeal
and
versus
also-
Aiken.
Zeal versus
Oh, yeah.
Aiken, which... Look, I'm going to be honest, Aiken did not deserve to reach top 4.
No.
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 And he immediately jobs in the next round anyways.
He gets,
But
like,
I feel-
the easiest draw the entire time.
Yes. I also
Yes.
just feel bad for him.
Mm.
Like, not in the sense that, like, he's a good person, but, like...
Well, here's the thing. The impression that I always got of the Silent Servants is that they were the most, sort of, cultish
Normal?
of the cults. Oh, wait,
The
no, he
Silent
wasn't...
Servants-
No, he wasn't a Silent Servant, was he? Oh, God, I'm mixing things up. No,
No, he was
He's
he was Wandering Titan.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
Wandering Tide. My bad. Yeah, no. Okay. We don't...
No, I
we
don't think any
we
of the
don't-
Silent Servants made it to the
No, they-
quarterfinals.
no.
They did not. But
the only one that made it far was the one that faced Safar Natoth.
Oh yeah, that did not go well.
no, they
And
did
that,
not.
yeah, like, that just didn't end well for them.
No. But yeah, Aiken, we just never get anything for him. So,
Yeah, he's kind of a blank slate almost. Just a bit of a brute, and that's it.
yeah.
Yeah,
and-
no. We also get Yeren versus Kalen Archer, which is a really fun little match for Yeren beating the shit out of the jobber.
No, Kalen Archer was semis, wasn't it?
No, Kalen Archer was her quarterfinal match.
Was it?
Jan Chomei was her semi.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, God, sorry. I mixing things up in my head. I mean, this book is, you know, basically Yeren learns to accept the Blood Shadow.
Yes.
And Ruby plays a big part. She gets named Ruby. I'm just going to say it outright.
Yeah.
Ruby plays a big part in her fight against Kalen Archer.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
And
to
then-
be fair, excellent time.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sofara faces Mercy. And Mercy loses.
That
Which
does-
is the most
It's-
intensive of the quarterfinal matches for
It's
sure.
genuinely the closest fight you
Yeah.
see in the tournament.
But-
Yeah, no, it's so basically it's round it's best of 3 matches between the two fighters, and
The
it goes all 3 rounds with each getting 1 win, and the final round is extremely close.
the only
It's,
reason Safara
if Yaren
wins,
was just a hair faster, she would have won.
I mean,
If Mercy was a hair faster, yeah,
also
Mercy.
the only reason that that Safara wins is because she's an Overlord.
Yes, because she literally breaks herself to advance.
Like, if she didn't do that, she would have lost.
Yes.
100%.
She would have lost 2-0. Easily.
Yeah.
You know, it's
That's
very-
it. She barely wins she only wins the second round because of that advantage that she gains from ascending. And that third round was close even with her ascending.
But yeah, Mercy takes it very hard, but you know, especially
Not helped
considering
by Malice being an asshole about it.
being a complete asshole. But thankfully, Linden is there to help her through.
Mm-hmm.
After that, the Akura clan
And
put
recruit
all-
her to help him become the point sage.
Yeah, but after that, the Akura clan put their all into basically keeping Yeren going.
Yeah, because she's the last person in the tournament who actually, can help them out.
Yeah.
Because she is the only sympathetic person in the tournament left.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm trying to remember what order the prizes are here.
It is, God, what was it? To get to the round of 4, it's like both.
I
to the
remember
four-
one
round
of
of-
them was a prize from each of the was it each of the monarch factions and then each of the monarchs themselves?
Yes, that's it. And then
So winning the finals guarantees both penance and a prize from all of the monarchs.
Well, a favor from all of the monarchs. Yeah, a wish from all of the monarchs.
I don't think it's explicitly stated what the top 4 prize is.
No, it is.
No,
because it's. Is it?
So going to top 4, like going to the semis, is a gift from the monarch factions. Top 2 going.
The final is definitely.
Sorry, it is.
Oh god, I can't remember now.
I don't remember it being stated what.
No, going to top 2 is like the legendary item. Going to top 4 is because that's when Yaren gets the blood drop and like the time.
Oh, I think she gets the moon bridge.
No, that's her legendary item in the finals.
Yeah.
Because
okay, yeah. So winning the quarterfinals gets you gifts from all of the monarch factions, and then winning the quarterfinals, when winning the semifinals is that is the big legendary item because Yaren gets the rainbow bridge, and
Safara gets the monarch shadow.
Yeah, and Safara gets the dragon totem basically.
But
so
because when Yaren goes to the semis, we also find out like because Yaren is gifted the diamond. No, not diamond. She's given the child engine.
Yes. So okay, I'm at the point where she gets the prizes. So Emrys Silentborn's is basically is the Sword Codex. Then
no, isn't it? Who gives her the ability to wield the Madra engine perfectly?
So let me just go through them because otherwise we're gonna just get all wrapped up. So Aurelius gave her a dream tablet that allowed her to control Soulfire more. Who is that? The 8-Man Empire gives her an elixir that's, I think, to do with Dream Aura. I don't think they actually allow your mind to keep up with the speed of your body and spirit. Yeah, it's basically a mind elixir. Then yes, the dragons give her the Madra engine, which is basically worthless to her. And
I forget, doesn't she pawn that off to one of her friends later?
Possibly, I can't remember. And then Nine Cloud Court gives her Heart Piercer fruit. Yes, Heart Piercer fruit, which would allow her to run the Madra engine forever. And then I think she takes it. Then I think she does actually use the Madra engine after that.
Yes, she does.
And then North Strider gives her the Pocket World. Yes. I think that's all of them.
And then
oh no! Sage of Red Faith comes and gives her the ultimate blood drop. Yeah, and then Yaren gives him "Reasons You Suck" speech, which is great.
Yep.
And Charity disapproves, but not for the reasons you'd think. She disapproves because it's not harsh enough, and he even tells her, "We will come up with better insults."
Because shit talking is important.
Yeah. I mean, it's still a great speech. It's like, do people dress up like you to scare children? You look like you sleep under someone's bed. Do mirrors break when you walk by? I figured out why your shadow left. It couldn't stand looking at its own face every day.
Yep. Absolute brutal shit talking.
People do not like Red Faith for good reason.
Yes.
Red Faith doesn't like Red Faith.
To be fair, also, just like, doesn't the Winter Sage... Oh no, it's Northstrider who just straight up punches him
Yes.
into orbit.
Yeah, yeets him out of the city. But yeah, meanwhile, back at the front line, Lyndon is making new friends. He's got his team, which is mostly made up of yes, the losers from the Akura teams.
Yeah.
He's also scaring them, which is not helped by Dross whispering into some of their minds to make them more scared.
Oh, Dross.
Oh god, the fucking fight against the I forget what the Dread God cult is called for the Wandering Titan. I
don't remember.
I've only got Silent Servants in my head for some reason. The Abyssal Palace. Abyssal Palace, that's it. Abyssal Palace.
Yeah, I think the Weeping Dragon is the Stormcallers.
Yes.
Yes.
But yes, against that one Abyssal Palace Underlord, who trained Aiken and is like meant to be basically as good as an Overlord, as like gets absolutely fucking wrecked, like nearly crippled wrecked, and is like, the only good thing is that we killed that man. Lyndon's fucking fine. Like, genuinely just fine.
Yeah, no, the dude just gives it his all, and Lyndon is just like, huh, that was weird.
I mean, it's like, we cut back to Lyndon, he's being lectured by Little Blue. Should also point out this is the book where he finally properly bonds with Little Blue, which really upgrades his Pure Madra. Yeah, this is the book where he comes up with the Hollow Domain, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yep.
Yeah, because he got it from Aethan, I think. Didn't he?
Yep.
Or learnt it from Aethan's example.
Yep.
But yes, also the Pride stabbing himself in the throat to demonstrate his healing factor. And both of them just...
Pretty metal, though.
Both Lyndon and Dross being like, okay, didn't expect that. Didn't know you could do that. I mean, Dross's was also... It's good to remember for when we end up killing him.
Dross is hilariously sociopathic sometimes.
Only sometimes?
Yeah. But yes, semi-finals go as expected. Yeren and Safara go through. It's, you know, it's not... It's nowhere near as close as the quarters, if I recall correctly.
Right.
On either side. So that, you know, leaves Yeren and Safara. Yeren gets the Rainbow Bridge, which basically lets her teleport, but the farther she goes, the more it has to recharge.
It's essentially the nothing personal kid attack.
Yeah. Yeren wants to test it out. Ruby agrees, so she takes it herself to go see Lyndon.
Whoops.
And Ruby is a lot more real and a lot more personable, which sort of shocked Lyndon. And then Lyndon has the wonderful idea to go and consume the Wandering Titan to figure out where it's going to go. Which, to be fair...
Could possibly backfire.
To be fair, he does manage to do. And he does in fact learn that it is heading towards Sacred Valley.
Dun, dun, dun!
But first, we have a tournament to finish. We get to the final. Yeren versus Safara. Best of 5. Meanwhile...
And even as an Overlord, Yeren is outmatched by Safara being roided out as fuck.
So Yeren isn't an overlady yet.
Yeah, no, she is by the end of the book.
She's still an underlady at this point.
No,
No,
she
I'm
is...
pretty sure an
By the
overlady.
final, no, by the time of the final, she is an overlady.
Is she? All right. Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that only happened with the fusion.
No, she's an overlady.
The fusion brings her up to Herald.
I just
Yes.
sort of thought that happened happened both at the same time.
No.
I don't remember that.
No, she
To be
becomes
fair,
an
it kind of just happens.
she
A lot
becomes an
happens in this
overlady.
book.
Her overlady advancement comes when she's dueling the Winter Sage one time in the Pocket
Yeah.
World.
When she's training with the Winter Sage. I think it's before the semis. Either before the semis or after the semis.
I'm googling overlady. Because I genuinely cannot remember, and it's annoying me that I can't.
No,
But yeah, So yeah, Yaren loses the first 2 rounds. This one's
Oh,
best
yes.
of 5.
Yes, she does do it. Because she gets really pissed off at the Winter Sage comparing her to the Sword Sage, and finally Yaren realizes that she is not the Sword Sage.
Yep.
And probably never will be.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, even with that, yes, Yaren is pretty outclassed. Gets her... Because the other issue is that she's also trying to listen for the sword icon, and that's not going well.
Mm-hmm.
It's honestly distracting her. And she takes, particular offense to that. Meanwhile, back at the front line, the Akuras are getting ready to basically move out, because they don't want to be here if the dragons win.
Mm-hmm.
And then, prior to the third round starting, Yaren and Ruby decide to basically fuse, as Red Faith laid out in his plan for raising a blood shadow. And Yaren, Northstrider basically has Yaren stop stop cycling her Madra until the fight actually begins, because otherwise it'll be too quick. So far, literally cannot get close to Yaren after that. And that...
No, it's an absolute curb stomp.
Well, there's a like very clear line of like, at some point, like, Safara looks like Yaren ate all of her children, which I think is a funny way to say that.
Yep.
But yes, and that once Yaren finishes curb stomping Safara, we get to again one of the best moments of the series, which is Fury advancing. Why, if you could advance, why did you wait to see this look on your face?
I will say this is the one time I will appreciate Travis's reading of Fury.
Yeah.
Because it's just so sarcastic.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
It's equal parts sarcastic and absolutely vicious.
Yeah. And yeah, it's just so wonderful. So yeah, fight begins. As they're sending the golds through, unfortunately, somebody's hatched a plan, which is to basically send the top underlords on the dragon side of things and to kill basically as many of Malice's important children as they can.
I wonder who did that.
And unfortunately, they have an inside stooge. Oh, Daji.
The world may
Oh
never
yeah,
know.
shithead McGee.
Daji did not know what he was doing. Because we've also gone throughout this entire book, Daji's attempts to, beat Lyndon, which are pitiful, because Lyndon is so much better than Daji.
To the point where, like,
It's almost sad if it wasn't so,
the
him being
only
a
satisfying.
fuck up and dick.
the other person who is at any point strong enough to know what's happening is like, Daji, shut the fuck up.
Daji, why are you so obsessed with making your father disappointed with you? He already cries himself to sleep because of you.
Yep.
which is vicious.
Also, so what did I miss? So I know not to repeat those topics.
We're basically at the end of the book now.
Something, punch a hole in the sky?
Not quite yet. We're talking about how stupid Darji is, and how much of a disappointment to his father he is.
Look, we hold these truths to be self-evident.
Yeah. Basically, Darji
sells them out because he's a dumbass.
Yeah, plants an anchor, allows Red Faith and his crew to turn up and kidnap as many Akuras as possible and disappear again. This is when Linden comes into his own, because he reopens the portal, which he should not be able to do. Yeah. Meanwhile,
like Ethan planned this.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Ethan is, basically trying to hold his own against fucking Red Faith and I think a couple of overlords. Actually, Ethan is an archlord by now, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, because he basically says, now that I'm not in the tournament, there's no reason to hold back.
But also, have y'all talked about God, why am I forgetting this?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, Fuzzy, so...
Yeah, you guys keep going, it'll come to me.
Yeah, meanwhile, Yaren has been picked up by Kieran, and Yaren does not enjoy him. Yaren does not like him.
I don't blame her.
At one point, Yaren wonders if she can use penance on him, which would have been a waste, but it would have been great.
Would have been very funny.
But he also knows that that's what she's thinking and says, sadly, no.
But yeah, she considers who to use it on as Kieran basically eggs her on. Because at this point, Malice and Northstrider have started fighting Shen as well, and causing absolute chaos there. Which, again, as much as we hate Malice, it's a pretty great line from Malice of, "Did you forget what my name is, Sesh?"
Yes.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, again, as much as we may hate Malice, that's a fucking good line. But so yeah, Linden breaks his way through and tries.
Oh, Ruby.
Ruby, yes.
Yes.
We talked about her briefly. Yes.
Yeah, we
Okay.
didn't talk about her massively, but once we get to the end, we can circle back around and get to anything we missed. So yeah, Linden starts making his way up the tower that Red Faith deposited them all in, and basically curb stomps four of the Uncrowned.
Yep.
So sadly, he is too late to prevent the deaths of Grace and the other two.
Courage, Darji, and Grace, yeah. And he only just arrives in time to save Seiya and Pride.
Yeah. But yeah, if there's one thing I dislike about this book, it's that Grace just gets off screen, even though she was like being built up as an important secondary character.
Well, no. I think it's the reason Will took efforts to make her likable is so her death would actually mean something.
Yeah, probably.
To the audience.
Yeah.
I just don't like it being off screen.
That's fair.
Because...
But to be fair, dude, this book is long enough as it is. This is the longest book by far.
It could have taken like 3 pages just to have a proper in-depth.
No, but like it would have felt worse because let's be real, she didn't have any sort of honorable death. They ganged up on her and killed her.
Especially considering wasn't it Brother Aiken that killed her? Brother fucking Aiken. But
I don't know.
Linden
I
literally
just don't like her death or how it was handled, to be honest.
Linden curb stomps 4 of them easily.
Yeah,
Well,
but like again,
curb
she was
stomps the
in-
three of them because he curb stomps. He absolutely curb stomps Kalen Archer, absolutely curb stomps Brother Aiken, fucking consumes the shit out of Yan Shomei's Blood Shadow, which basically they see him come out, and it's this hulking beast of a thing that's terrified pretty much everyone else who's fought her, and basically he and Dross go, dinner.
Yep.
Okay, you were saying something, Fuzzy?
I don't know, based on the time of day, it would probably be closer to Linner.
Yeah. But, yes, and then he
Love me some Linner.
arrives on the top floor to find...
I'm mad at you.
to find Mercy against Sofara, who basically genuinely considered not taking part to try and save Sesh, and then decided against it because, yeah, she was
He's
dumb.
an idiot.
Yeah. Which is about that. Which is about.
To be
the
fair,
point-
I'm pretty sure she's like kind of lost her mind by this point.
Yeah, because she knows she's doomed as well.
I
But,
do wonder how differently this end of the series would have played out if she had made the decision to hold back, and as a result, Mercy had.
Yaren hadn't, offed
Yeah.
Sesh as a result.
Yeah, if Yaren had killed the tiger, then a lot of the later events of the series would not have happened.
you mean Lion?
I mean, killed Shen?
Yeah.
The furry, yes.
Because the tiger is the Silent King.
Yeah.
The lion is Rhaegon Shen.
Yeah, no.
I get not giving him the dignity of recognizing him, but like, don't do it in a way that will confuse us.
Yeah,
because
that was
there is a tiger in the
confusing.
series.
That was confusing. Like, why would Yaren kill the Silent King at this point?
I mean, if it was one of the dread gods she was going to kill, it would have been the Phoenix.
Yeah,
He
maybe the
was
Titan
thinking
as
about
well, or maybe
Yeah.
the Titan.
Maybe.
But yes,
But yeah, she,
Sofara makes the dumb decision, and so Yaren decides to use penance on Sesh, and it is as unceremonious a death as you can possibly get, Cradle.
she just says his name and then he dies.
Which creates a very funny blooper when she struggles to say the name and just kills some random dude called Sesesheth. It's
Well.
just the way Kieran says, well, I guess that person's gonna have a very bad day. But yes, then we get to the big moment at the end of the book, because earlier in the book, Lyndon had been feeling a bit down on himself in trying to cheer up Mercy, and who is like stunned that he is down on himself at all, and says, if I asked you to punch a hole in the sky, I would have thought you'd respond, apologies, it might take me a few years. Lyndon shows up to save Mercy and says, I'm here to punch a hole in the sky. And that's what he fucking
Love
does.
a good callback.
And that's what he fucking does, because he manifests the fucking void icon, becoming a Underlord Sage, I'm fairly sure.
Which is not unheard of, but very, very, very rare.
Yeah, and, just consumed so far into oblivion.
Yes.
So yeah, another funny moment. Lyndon finds Aethan, who is supposedly on death's door after facing Red Fate, and Lyndon just goes, "What did I do?" Doesn't even bother to pretend that Aethan is dying, because he's not. We all know he's not.
Oh, he's just hamming it up for shits and
Yeah.
giggles.
And then yes, we get to the epilogue where Lyndon and Yaren have their cloud ship now and are getting ready to head off to Sacred Valley. Just as Aethan's turns up and slots in perfectly, like it
Slides
was
right into their DMs.
designed to fit there all along. God damn it, Aethan.
I love Aethan and his shenaniganry so much.
It's so funny.
We should also point out we also get the final member of the party as Zeal finally joins for real, which I was so
Yep.
happy about. I remember being so happy that was happening.
Yes.
Yep. So now
I
we
remember-
have our 6-man band all together.
Yeah.
Or is it 5? No, it's 6. It's 6. 7 if you count.
It depends. It depends where you count Dross, Orthos, and Little Blue in this.
Yeah.
If you don't count them, it's a 5-man band. If you count them, it's an 8-man band.
They're
An
kind of
8-man empire, you might
empire.
say.
Yeah.
On the same wavelength there. But yeah,
I'm glad
no.
you and I think the same way.
But yes, this easily became my favorite book of the series when it first came out, and even now, yeah, it's at the very least top 3, if not top 2.
Yeah. Which would you say are the other ones? Because I think I know which ones you'd think of.
Waybound and Reaper. Waybound and Reaper.
I honestly think for me personally,
I think
Dreadgod
Ghostwater and
edges out.
Dreadgod are up there.
I don't like
Dreadgod-
Ghostwater as much, but I do think Dreadgod edges out Reaper edges out Waybound for me personally.
Dreadgod is the issue is it was felt like a test for Waybound of Will's ability to do basically 2 climaxes, and he wasn't as good at it in Dreadgod as he was in Waybound. It was the Oda thing of, all right, practicing this technique over and over again until finally get it right. But yeah, I mean, Dreadgod is still top 5 because it's still a fantastic book. I would say Ghostwater 5th, Dreadgod 4th, Reaper 3rd, Wintersteel 2nd, Waybound 1st. Maybe, I don't know. I need to reread Waybound again to really
Waybound
decide.
needs some time to sit because
Yeah,
it's
it
very
does.
recent.
It is very recent, yeah. But you know, it's the top 3 is definitely Reaper, Wintersteel, and Waybound in some sort of order. But we'll have to get to Bloodline and Reaper next time, because that is, unless any of y'all have anything else you want to talk about very quickly about either of these 2 books.
Good, I think.
Oh,
This is probably one of my favorite tournament arcs in fiction.
we haven't talked about Orthos being in Sacred Valley.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
it only comes up a couple times in these books. To be fair,
It's basically the
We
start and the end.
it's just so that we find out what's going on, why he left in Underlord.
Mhm. Basically, train Kelsa, and you know, start running roughshod over the Sacred Valley fucks. Trying to think of anything else we've missed. Oh, Justice being traumatized by Lyndon.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Just absolutely traumatized by his potential.
Also, I feel like maybe we're just getting a bad sample size, but like, it occurs to me that following a cast of that consists of 2 princesses, a genius, a god, and a little goblin freak, really skews the audience's perspective on what is and is not reasonable in the world of sacred arts. Because, like, we as the audience kind of take the idea of a constant advancement for granted.
Yeah.
But, like, there
But
are
it's not
genuinely...
fucking normal by the standards of the setting.
I
Yeah,
mean,
we're,
again,
like-
we will get to it in. I think
We did mention earlier about Pride just like
Yeah.
being Underlord at the end of the series, like
Yeah.
he was when he was introduced, and he complains about
But, like,
everyone in the main cast being a bunch of freaks for advancing so fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, think of the 3, or think of the 5, like the core 5-man band, excluding Dross, Little Blue, and Orthos, because they're kind of a package deal with Lyndon. You have 2 princesses, because let's be real, being the daughter of a sage is basically being if not a princess, then at least like the daughter
A
of a
noble
countess.
of
Yes.
yeah.
Especially given the amount of resources we know Tim pumped into her. A literal princess, the daughter of a monarch, the most talented in history. Zeal hit Archlord at age 25.
Yep.
Yes.
I think he almost beat Lyndon for speed.
Almost. Yeah.
Well, not for speed, but for like age.
Yeah.
Because he probably started earlier than Lyndon.
Remember, he was known as the Dawnwing of the Dawnwing sect. And he
also, didn't you say his dad was like a farmer?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, he advanced incredibly quickly for his status.
Yeah, he was like not from a position of privilege, and he was just a genius.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
he makes a point of saying like, yeah, they used to sing songs about me.
And here's that. And
I love how monotone he is when he says it.
And that's
Do you think the song went a little something like this? Na 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 Dawnwing.
I hate you.
Na 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 Dawnwing.
Fuck you.
Dawnwing.
Eat shit.
Mill, you haven't installed the Buddhist man soundboard bits.
Alright, 1 second, because I do actually have it now. If my computer will let me, please. Stop. What is wrong with my disk? What is wrong with my SSD? I don't understand. Right, I'm gonna have to get my computer out and have a look at it.
That is on you.
Yeah.
It's also just like
no.
ridiculous.
Yeah, and then Lyndon's just like a little goblin freak who loots and eats everything.
He's like a hardcore grind gamer who just like wants to level up as quickly as possible, as efficiently as
Lyndon
possible.
is a little bit of a scrub lord.
Yes.
Let's be real.
He's on that 6 male grind sets, except for, actual power instead of,
anybody do that?
being a poser loser.
So yeah, it's kind of a stacked cast, and yet Lyndon does remain the odd man out. Because it's acknowledged that he's talented, but not genius level. Like, if you look at the sheer volume of resources he has to consume, both figuratively and literally, he definitely is, like... You could probably raise several more talented sacred artists to Archlord on the back of the volume of resources that go into Lyndon.
At the same time, though, Lyndon gets farther than any of them would have gotten.
Yes, but like the fact remains that he did more.
Yeah, the point is that Lyndon has the drive to do it more than anything else.
Yeah, whatchamacallit? This is a good book. This is a good book.
It's also like the beginning of like Zeal is like the sixth ranger, essentially.
Yes.
Yeah, effectively.
He's great. He fits in really well. He's very different from his original design. But for those of you who are not in the know,
Oh my god.
And it would have made sense, because, like, the disciple of the Beast King, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like, that is what the Beast King's bag is, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Is the Beast King as a Pokemon trainer.
Yep.
And Zeal was supposed to be the plucky Ash Ketchum type, and then Will, I think, wrote a bit of it and realized, oh, what have I done? And then decided to make him just...
Our wonderful depressed boy.
He's our precious little... Our precious boy. Also, I need to I posted this on a subreddit a while back, but there is a Korean manhwa where the cover is, I swear to God, a dead ringer for Ethan post-Bloodline, just lovingly embracing a character that looks very much like Zeal from behind. So I'll try and find that picture at some point.
But yes, I think we should call it a
Wrap
day
up?
now because my computer is still fucking up, and I'm about to take it apart.
We've also
so-
lost Jack and Gen.
I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
But yes, I think we should wrap it up now. So, thank you everybody for watching, and apologies for the tech problems. I've pulled my computer out from where it is, and I'm gonna be opening it up because this is fucking insane.
On the plus side, our stream does show that it has been continuous. So I don't think we went down.
I know, but it's frustrating to me that this.
No,
keeps
I
happening,
totally
but-
understand. Look, my guy, as the person who's had consistent computer issues for the past year, I feel you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, in terms of future stuff, I'm honestly not sure, because at this point I'm gonna have to say I'm not sure if I'm comfortable streaming until I figure this out.
I think we can hold... I'm also getting my computer fixed by next week. So I may be taking over for at least parts of the streaming starting from next week. Now,
Yeah.
granted, the volatility of my home situation is going to make that a little bit awkward because I do have a sick grandma at home to take care of, so that's the only concern. Is I think that the bottleneck isn't going to make it my computer anymore, it's going to be that. But at the very least, the stream can run in the background while you guys chat if I'm away from the computer for a few minutes.
But yes, either way, if you want to find out what we're doing, you can follow us here on Twitch. That'll obviously send you a notification for when we go live.
Also, if you're watching this on YouTube, give us a like, subscribe, and or comment. It does
Yes,
ship on
help
YouTube.
us in the algorithm, as they say.
It's like not a lot of viewership, but it's greater than 0, which is like more than I expected.
Yeah.
Yep.
Otherwise, again.